everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing a John Delirium deck. CGB already beat me to it. As I saw it in the league, I kind of copied it into Arena, and it was in the backlogs. It was ready to go, but unfortunately beat me to it. We're going to play it today. I waited a couple of days after just so there was some space in between, and we're going to go ahead and give it our best shot and run it on the best of one ladder. What is the primary goal? Well, Delirium. Delirium, if you're unsure what that means a lot of different things, but Delirium itself requires 4 different types in the graveyard to activate whatever that Delirium costs. It's just like Ward in a way, where Ward is a static. It kind of says counter a spell if the ward cost isn't paid, but the ward cost changes all the time. Whereas Delirium is not the same ability on everything. So Delirium here, whenever this creature attacks for the first time each turn, if there are 4 more types of cards in your graveyard, untap target creature, after this phase, there's an additional combat phase, which is obviously very nice. And that goes incredibly well with cards like Aftermath Burner and like Bloodghast, so we don't care if it gets kind of bodied, or even at one point in the video, an Overlord double attacking, which was quite nice because it's a 5/5 and it puts cards back in our hand, but it does mill us out almost, so that's very cool. Other than that, the main synergy in the deck is going to be the kind of Draconics Engineer. This guy, the Exhaust card. Exhaust going with Aftermath Burner, one of the kind of highlights of this set. The Exhaust being kind of in lore wise with kind of playing with cards, but Exhaust is a 1 red. Other creatures control gain haste until end of turn. Put a 1/1 counter on that creature. This comes back from the graveyard for free whenever you activate the exhaust cost. That ability doesn't have to resolve before this comes back, so this will return and then get haste off of the engineer, so it can attack for free. And then with cards like Bloodghast as well coming in off of our lands for free, we get a lot of kind of ways to put creatures back on the battlefield tapped and attacking that our opponent's going to have to struggle with if they do not play exile removal, along with the fact that if their life total is lower, this now has haste. Oh, wow. My dog squeaked a bone and I thought she just threw up, but no, she's playing with her toy. I just had a heart attack. Anybody that has a dog has heard that throw up noise before, and just you snap to it. It's crazy. But with that said, we're trying to put cards in our graveyard, use that to our advantage, bring creatures back for free, and then attack for a lot to win the game. So let's go ahead and dive in. No green mana is a little tough. 4 lands is kind of high, but we get to pitch one with Fear, so we'll have instant land in our graveyard for Delirium. But see what's up. I guess Fear is honestly probably going to get rid of the Bloodghast, but we'll see. Forest. Sultai. So Sultai Reanimator then. Sure. Nothing to cast with that. It's kind of crazy. Now let's do Bloodghast, I guess. A lot of lands so far. Not really ideal. Well, that's 5 permanents. They could technically Squirming Emergence out to Jace if they wanted to, but probably not gonna see that. Maybe a removal spell for Fear here. Or not. More lands. Okay. Another Fear, I guess. Blooming Marsh can go. Alright. Cool. I guess. Alright. I don't know, dude. Not a whole lot we can do about it if we're just going to flood super hard. We'll see. Interesting. Arena sometimes it's too hard to describe what Arena does sometimes. I'm kind of surprised. I figured they might go for a Jace here, considering they get the emergence back. Oh, okay. Yep. What if we just do the same thing as them? What if we only draw torches and lands? All constructed game. Sure. The craziest part of it all too is we're like close to the point that a torch sack on the fear of missing out's almost worth it, because it does in fact like put a enchantment and creature in our graveyard while also torching, like working well. But they go for Quag. Kind of get that anyway, I guess. For sure. Not a lot to do. Land, bring back Chase, maybe fire it off. We'll see though. Did I just torch my fear to get it online? I guess I can always do it on my turn. I have like so much mana. Yeah. Here. Turn that on. Go to combat, attack. For 2 more. Call it. They don't really have much when it comes to things to bring back. They have a Jace. They might even, it might be even the point they like Squirming Emergence out of Jace, mill, and do it again. Okay. Full version Jace here. Torch deals damage to target creature or player spells if permanent is dealt damage by torch. May sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or a token. Okay. That's fine. Heal. Holy lands, brother. And we still attack here. Must be found. Sure. Huh. We also win if they just put an Attrax into play, by the way. Sure. Battle card from the graveyard to the play. Jace. Sure.
Emotions are distractions. Focus on the facts.
Yeah.
I
wow.
Know where to find all the
and they don't have 20 cards in their graveyard. What? What a dumb game to win. I should never win that game. I don't know what happened. We're moving on though. All right, we get to go first here. Our hand's like good. All lands in are untapped and every card's playable. So it's definitely fine. So we'll keep. If it's something like a Hopeless Nightmare deck, then we're pretty pumped because we got a free discard with a free bring back as well. Blue red, which typically means monument, could be the artifact boom bust type deck. Boom bust land destruction. I don't know, fireball, I guess. One of those cards. We could go for Bloodghast now. Just go that route. And then if they remove it with a conventional burn spell, it's just Sky. Alright, so it's just Sky Oculus. Okay. Tell me if they have it without telling me that they have it. Apparently. Do this. We'll grab a Fear of Missing Out. And a little bit of life here. Bring back another Bloodghast. I guess we can just wait. Our opponent's not really going to get any, like, I don't know. I can't imagine we win this game. That's always how Delirium feels, though, to be honest with you. Delirium always feels like you can't win the game. To some extent, which is like, is that a bad sign? Probably, but... I just don't know if... I'm not going to attack with anything else, so let's attack like this. Sweet. Get rid of Chandra. Then Quag here. Flyer's a little bit of a problem. Lands in the graveyard are not great, but we'll play this and we'll get rid of Chandra here. Torch is a pretty good draw, but this is a little too large. But we have Fear activated. The problem being that we don't have another creature in the bin. So when we activate this, it's going to not work the way we'd like. Okay. Are we just bouncing multiple things? No, we have torches. Okay, sure. We just have bounce double torch. Yeah, my bad, dog. Okay. Sure, brother. We don't even have a creature in there, so I guess it's just... Let's Seed of Hope first. Grab that land, which is nice. Do I double Fear here? I feel like double Fearing is actually slightly better. Because I can always play this and activate it. It's not like a big deal. Overlord is ready to go, so that's pretty cool. But this untaps 2 creatures, which is great. Feels good, I guess. I don't know. It didn't immediately bring it out, but it looks like they're just going to maybe hard cast one. Yeah. Sure. What a curve their hand is having, that's for sure. This might be a situation where I just have to play an Overlord. Oh man, this game's just so hard. Not having one of these to answer is just a tough way to try to play this game. I don't know. Play this. I guess not necessarily one we want to bring back. Wonder, I guess. No? I still don't know how we answer this if we don't draw the removal spell almost immediately, like one of these. I got rid of my torch, so like the combat doesn't really work well. So I would be willing to sacrifice this enchantment to torch the eye, then kind of go that route with it, but sure. They shut down their Fear by doing it. They could get it online here, I guess, because they can do an enchantment depending what this hits, I suppose. It's a land. A little unfortunate, I suppose. Play a tap land, so maybe their hand's not the best. Sure. What do we got, boss? We hit an untap land. We're pretty happy here. See though. Stretcher's Insight's also pretty good. This can also hit a land. It could definitely have like a bounce spell or interaction, but hit an untap land, thankfully. I know it's a little much to kind of overstretch here, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Take that action, of course. Getting quite a bit of life. Get to play the engineer. Hope it didn't counterspell. They're halfway through their deck and we haven't seen one yet, so it's like a little weird to think that we would. Bring this back. We're halfway through our deck and we only have one expert in our graveyard, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Should attack. I don't know why I didn't attack with I guess. I had literally no idea. I understand fear missing outs and stuff are going to get kind of bodied here, but I will grab an engineer. So I have another kind of haste activation. We got opponent. Could also have a thing to flip over one of these face down cards. Be troublesome. Attack with both fears, so like they kind of have to lose a face down card, maybe. If they don't, then we get to attack another 5/5 again and a 4/2 again. You clearly set up the fact that we're ready to bring something out. 1/1 attack, now showing to maybe be a little bit troublesome here. I would like to remove a creature. Never quite understood that route of it. Doesn't matter if I attacked with this, but I'm gonna attack with this. I don't know why I didn't attack with that the first time around, but I'm living life like Larry, you know. I guess we just grab a fear. Don't necessarily get extra combats or anything here, but blood gas is where we need to be. Don't really have one. Okay. They just take a full hit. Oh, I have another attack. I didn't even realize that. That's crazy. The 2 fear messing outs gave me double attacks. That's wild. Prof. Draw 6. 12. After that, I can technically block here, but most likely a torch and stuff happens. We have Overlord into Engineer activation kind of thing, and if it works out in a really porous way for us, then sure. I think we're fully prepared to just take what, 10, 13? Yeah. Maximizing the amount I can attack with next turn is way better in my opinion. Now, do you put the counter on the Siren and just hold it back? Or are you going to attack me for 6? What's the plan here? Ass, maybe? Another tap land. Unfortunate, for sure. One of the problems of putting cards underneath like this at times can be that. But most likely they're going to find a creature eventually. So now... most of my sources make red, so that's fine. We're gonna have to play this Overlord. Oh. Brutal indeed. Not out, I guess. So what is the play now? Considering I can't hit anything. Yeah. What a game. Play Fear missing out? Play Chandra maybe? Maybe just wait. I can attack with the Overlord. Hold the Draconic Engineer. Or I just activate Draconic Engineer. Like I play this, activate Draconic Engineer, and then I just do it again because I have a backup copy. I mean, I guess that makes sense to me. Auto pay. Gain a lot of life here. Combat. I have 13 cards left. We're in. At some point, okay. There's 2 more copies, which is nice. We'll grab a fear. It's like at some point we gotta hit, right? We have like 3. We have 3 more. Oh no, they're exiled. When did they get exiled? Why did I forget that they got torched the tower at the beginning? That's why I couldn't find them. Bro, I kept picking up my graveyard, be like, dude, I haven't hit any blood gas this game. No, they got double torched at the beginning. That's a bad look for me, team. All right, we get to go first here. Our hand's pretty good as long as I don't punt it into the sun. This red's a little bit tough, but we'll keep. It'll kind of depend how this hand pans out, whether or not when we play this Fear of Missing Out, do we discard this or this? If we got a second red, I would probably go ahead and discard this, but I think we're looking to just play it kind of naturally here. So cut down's available for our opponent, it seems. Sure. Missing that red is a little tough because obviously we'd love to get rid of this, but second Fear missing out's good. Okay, go for it here. Keep establishing stuff, or I can just go for Overlord. I'll play a land. Bloodghast is going to come out. But maybe I go for Overlord, then play land. I feel like that's so fast, by the way. Treasure's Insight would obviously be great, but I think I'm going to just grab additional Fear here. Play land. Bloodghast come out for free. Now, our opponent does play Anoints and things like that, so it definitely could get Anointed and not be a factor anymore later. But land, creature, enchantment, we kind of need something else. Just a cycle, maybe missing a land draw? Sure, I guess. Won't really get to attack regardless. Let's do this. Or like, if I have another Bloodghast, they won't get to attack regardless. If I just take this land, I kind of need to. But I don't think I'm going to wait for it though. Combat attack, hit, play land. Bloodghast comes out, but they have to be below 10 for it to have haste. So it's not going to hit that kind of threshold anyway. Then I'll just get rid of another Fear of Missing Out, I guess. That'll put an enchantment in the graveyard along with the creature. So if I do bring stuff out, fine. I don't know. Getting a lot of lands, which is okay. Bloodghasts are pretty close to striking home for a lot. Alright, they cycle again. They play a Mosswood, which is fine. I think I'd just go ahead. Well, now I can activate this, but not really where we're at. I want to play this because I can play both my creatures, I guess. So let's go to combat. Swing both Bloodghast, which is a mistake in general. I played my land first, which is bad. They take the damage, so they let me out actually, which thankfully they did that. I've been playing very loose today, and it's a little annoying. It's just like there's a lot of things, like there's a lot of weird play patterns that we have to play with this deck to optimize, and I'm just not doing it right now. Like I'm playing lazy essentially. My opponent's behind, and I'm just kind of just slinging spells at him. You know what I'm saying? What do we got? Or the fight deck? Like, do I just have to like attack, right? Huh. Wild situation. I don't even know what's going on. That's red, or this black, colorless, and this. See if we don't get Delirium online. A gas is sitting there. We can bring out this. This land. Blood gas come out. Realistically, like, just having the blood gas get sacked is probably fine. Now we can activate this one. Give other creatures haste, which will count this one that just came in. Attack. Yeah, makes sense. I understand I'm gonna lose a lot here, but we have to go to combat, right? Down to 2 they go. So for 4. Oh no, it looks like I have enough mana to do this. But thankfully that card's pretty good at that task. Like, just this land here, I'm going to bring in 3 haste or 2/1s, which is obviously nice. You have a fight spell, and only 2 permanents will go. Do I even have enchantments in here? I have a fear, okay. And I have an overlord. What am I missing? A spell? Like an instant or sorcery? Here. 2. 1, 2. Have double fight. Alright, cool. Just make this easy. Here. Yes, yes, and yes. They have haste this time around, so that's gonna get it. That's gonna get it done. Obviously, they can block the fear, cut down a creature, and then the blood gas get it covered. So, Phyrexian Obliterator being weirdly short in a situation where it would actually be ideal overall. So, unfortunate for them, but we move on. We can play Cliffs and the Gorge to everything we want. Honestly, Ashiok makes me scared that maybe they were going to mid phase or pregame action Leyline of the Void me, which would have been gross play for sure. Gas in the bin because it's basically free to do. Then I can go ahead and establish an engineer if I want, but these are just good enough on their own to play later. I think I would go for Dredger's Insight if I'm allowed to. Blue-white permission deck is going to see that I never do anything. Get lost. Sure. Play Dredger's Insight. Grab the copper line, because now our opponent will know about that. Take this action. Bit here. Dredger's Insight number 2 is honestly not even that bad. We'll keep. Deck's kind of coming together well. If my opponent removes my blood gas, then I'll be very upset. I won't tell them that, but I just will be, you know? Let's play Second Dredgers. Maybe this gets countered. It has such good value, too. So hard for me not to think it ever gets countered at times. I'll do Overlord. Play here. Play here. Force them to maybe interact with us. Yeah, their hand lit up that time. Grab that counter spell, big dog. In there. After all that's said and done, we do have another one to bring out 2 creatures, but I don't know if it'll even resolve at that point, which is kind of the tough part of the game. Black, green. Place Overlord here. Okay, just counter spells out to counter spells. Fair enough. Could be a Sunfall or something. I'd much rather wait here. Why did I leave that on top? Why did I leave that on top? No way. Okay, fair enough. I did not mean to leave my torch on top, but I sure did. That counterspell kind of implies that they got more. I can pay for No More Lies here. I get Sunfall, it happens regardless, right? So let's do this. Just one of those weird things. Like, I could do it on instep, but like, if they cast a Sunfall in their turn anyway, then what am I doing, right? I'll special smite him if you'd like. Use, sure. Like, I don't know. Double draw, I'll take 8 here. What are the odds that their hand sucks? Not great. I got exiled, so you're currently gone forever. We do have a lot of good draws in our deck. Temporary Lockdown doesn't work on some of our cards. It does work on some. I wouldn't know which ones. But the experts it don't work on. Yeah, I was saying they're 3-mana creatures, so. Opponent first. Our hand's pretty good, we'll keep. I'm pretty good. I mean, these cards are pretty good. I got nothing to do. Turn 1. I have multiple Dredges Insight though. Sweet. Getting value right away. No mono red players, please. They scare me. Land is preferred hit here. Or entirely a miss. Yeah. I mean, land there isn't super important. Like, it is, but it's not. Wow. Land? Brutal. Just brutal. Even if I mill over, like, I'm not guaranteed for anything, so I guess I just do this. 2 more land misses. Okay. Coincidence, it happens against mono red. I think not. I do feel like oftentimes I will miss my land drops and stuff against mono red, the most common. Like, if we hit a land, I feel like we are cruising with how kind of aggressive our hand would have got, but like, dude, come on. What do we do about that? I mean, I'm over 15 cards deep and I haven't hit another land. The only problem is, I mean, I think I have to go over this and it's just not going to be enough. Hey, Magic the Gathering cards that I want, actually. Now a land can help, but it's still just, we're just too late. We missed a land drop for 2 turns. Not gonna get it done. What, 6? No, 8. Yeah, I'm good. We're just never winning this game. Our opponent's struggling to figure it out apparently, but this game is just over. Game on the draw is of course against mono red, because why? Who else would it be? Sure. Huh. Yes. Will you commit a spell? No. Okay. Sure. I'll take one of those back. Got plenty of mana when it comes to that. So I guess instead of fear missing out, I should still just go for this. You'll clearly hit. What are you doing? Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Sure. This is, I don't know what's going on. It's like, no, I'm not budging. What we got, boss? One counter on hired? No. Okay. Manifold mouse? Or fire hero. Okay. Fire hero. Okay. Well, I'm pumped about what's happening. For an insight. Sure. Out, gain a life. I land tapped. Go for this, I guess. Problem is, I'm just one turn behind. Just what happens in these matchups. Huh? Sure. Okay. How many is it? I'd have 2. It's honestly probably worth it. Could just play double fear. Like double fear. No. Well, no, that'd be 4 mana, and then I can for 5 mana play fear. Okay, we're gonna try. We're gonna try to go for the win the opposite way, I guess. We're gonna try. Not that it will succeed, but also made a slight mistake. Okay, well. Full blood gas in there. Now we essentially, as long as we have a little bit of life to spare, if they have another lackluster turn like that, then we can kind of come away with the game. I have no idea if they will. Just need a little bit of life, but I'm not sure if we'll ever get that far. Them activating this on the Heartfire hero might give us that though, actually, which is wild. A 3/2. I don't even want to block because I still take the damage. All right, no attack with the other Heartfire hero is a little telling, I think. If they activate on this Higher Claw, I think we actually win this game. It's crazy to think about. Because our fear of missing out will trigger. We have a second one to trigger. We'll bring things back, and then we'll get like 2 combats, kind of, right? 1, 2, so that's 8. That's sure. I'm not milling anything else anyway, so we gain a life. Have to make sure Arena doesn't do any messed up stuff where it screws me over. So we play Fear here. Guess if there's a card to get rid of, it's that one. Yeah, you see that? Like, Arena really just hates tapping correctly. But give things haste here. Then we go to combat and untap here and untap here. They block. It's what, 6, 10, 14. It actually won't even be enough. Regardless. Crazy that it wouldn't even be enough here. You know, we thought maybe we would have it. Kind of a crazy block, if I had to say. No. A crazy block because it's incorrect. Alright. Once I said, okay, if they block the 4, there's not a way for me to get there, I just kind of assumed the game was over. But no. Alright, cool. So after losing to turn 4 Omniscience twice in a row, we bounce back and win another game. Very cool. Alright, well, I have a couple of changes I think I would make almost immediately, and that is to probably cut to Chandra. It's just a little too slow in her deck that's kind of all in on this strategy. Now, this did come from a best of 3 deck for the most part. I forgot to get the sideboard, but my channel's been best of one kind of forever, so I feel like we're kind of best of one here. The Chandras would easily come out and they would go to the sideboard and things like that. But I feel as though these can come out and maybe go in for like 1-mana removal spells, or like the Gnawing Vermin that we can target ourselves to mill and things like that. Or just almost anything else, just because he's felt quite slow in the late game, or like even when I had him early, I was like, that's just a planeswalker for me to turn on Fear of Missing Out, and I don't necessarily like that for the most part. Other than that, the deck felt good. There was a couple of games that kind of just swung our way whenever it came to like mono red not necessarily having the best hand of all time, but it was fine overall when it came down to it, just on the fact of like trying to tighten up my plays when it came to like this card. I was playing it maybe a bit inefficiently with like Fear Missing Out, because the idea behind it is to actually play this card first, then play Fear Missing Out, and then activating its exhaust mode most likely. But it just didn't end up panning out that way. I always prioritized playing Fear first and getting rid of like a Bloodghast in most of my games. But I do think if you do have the option, the best play is to play this, discarding this, play this on 3, and then activate its exhaust cost, bringing this back, and then you get to kind of attack. Even if Fear isn't online there, it's just a fine enough play overall. But I do think outside of that, the best card in our deck is Dredge's Insight. This card has, like, it's impressed me so much. Every time I play it, I always feel like I hit what I want, outside of the one game where I missed a land, but I also went 15 cards deep before finding a land. I wasn't finding one. Like, it just is what it is. But with that said, I'm going to call it there. I hope you all enjoyed the Jund variation of this list. It did come from a standard league of best of 3. So this is the best of 3 version. But again, I think immediately out of everything, the Chandras just have to go overall, just because they're a little bit weird. Maybe even play a couple copies of Bitter Triumph, because discarding something like this or Bloodghast is pretty nice, because they're like kind of free discards. And they also fuel your graveyard for this card if need be. But outside of that, I do hope you all enjoyed. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.